Today's blog post is Be the Energy That You Wish to See. I recently listened to an episode of the Aubrey Marcus podcast with Paul Selig. And as always, there were gems after gems that helped articulate the change that's needed to move us forward as a collective in a sustainable fashion. Think what you may on channels and mediums, people who deliver messages from spirits or ethereal sources. There were some applicable takeaways from this podcast that make sense. One of which that I keep coming back to this week has been to be in the vibration of what you support. Do not be anti what you don't support. To elaborate, instead of being anti-war, be pro-harmony. Instead of being anti-hate, be pro-love. Instead of being anti-pain, be pro-healing. I am big on disruption. Miki Agarwal, founder of Tushy and author of Disruptor, has created business after business disrupting systems. One of my least favorite sayings is, "That's the way that it's always been." It drives me crazy because it doesn't allow for change, for growth, for evolution, which is what we do as humans and as a planet. And what I feel, personally, is my purpose here to disrupt ancestral patterns and pains. Throw in another quote, the only thing that's constant is change. It's part of our existence. We don't stay embryos, we become babies, to then children, to then teenagers, to adults, and to elders. We don't stay the same person day by day. Everything we encounter creates a new reality for us. And from a physiological standpoint, our cells are changing and dying off and growing anew anywhere between every couple days to every week, every few weeks, months, and years. We are always changing, even if we don't realize it. So what does this have to do with this blog? It's easy for us to complain or to focus on what's in front of us. It can be a challenge to disrupt our thought patterns and change from a psychological perspective. It takes an awareness of what we are doing, who we are, and what's happening around us to then catch our thoughts and actions and then change course, cause disruption. Where we are in the world, in life, in history, if we want things to change, we cannot keep doing things the same way. Why would I keep doing the same workout every day if I wasn't seeing the results I wanted? When you work out, you reach a plateau and you either have to change the weights or the exercise or the intensity in order to reach a new plateau. In a video game, you can't defeat the boss at the end of each level the same way you did the previous level. You either gain new tools or new powers to defeat the latest level. It's the same thing in life. We cannot keep doing, seeing, hearing things in the same way we always have. It's time to ask ourselves, how can we do, see, and hear things differently? I recently wrote a tweet and an Instagram post in response to the pictures around California and Oregon of the red and orange haze, as well as the dark skies that were blanketing our land and our feeds. We are quick to call out climate change. We are quick to call out our congresspeople. But what about ourselves? What have each one of us done to contribute to climate crisis? And more importantly, what can each one of us do to change? If we have the mindset, well, what can I do as an individual? What impact am I going to make? Well, you are continuing to create the problem if you don't do anything or think that you don't matter. What if everyone thought that way? Well, here we are. So yes, you as an individual can create change. We are part of a collective web of energy. What you do creates a ripple effect and will spark someone else to create change. And they'll spark someone else to create change. And they'll spark someone else to create change. It's like dominoes. Newton's third law says for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. What does that even mean, right? First off, the fact that I'm even talking about physics right now would make my high school physics teacher very proud. So shout out to Dr. Peter Vike, aka DPV, for trying to teach us physics in the second semester of our senior year. I will never forget watching Pink Floyd's The Wall the last day of class. All right, back to physics. I am not in the right mind to break down the energy in all of its forms and how it manifests in manifestation, meditation, or prayer. That was my goal, but I'm gonna need more time because physics. I'll get there. So for Newton's third law, when you are pushing or touching something, that thing is equally pushing against you. The earth has a gravitational pull to you as much as you have a gravitational pull towards the earth. Make sense? Okay, so if we look at this from an energetic and emotional standpoint, and including the idea of disruption to create change, if we want to create change from a collective perspective, we have to meet what we don't want to see in the world anymore with the opposite of it. Instead of perpetuating more hate to combat hate, i.e., F that guy, or you're a bunch of morons for thinking that way, what if we meet the opposition with the opposite, rather than the same energy that they're projecting? To disrupt and meet the action with the opposite and equal action, and create change we wish to see, we have to catch ourselves in the reaction and create the change there. Instead of saying, "You effing idiot," meet the moment with compassion and say, "I hope you find the healing that you're seeking." Or, "I hope that you find the love that you're seeking." And at the same time, looking at our own lives and seeing where we need healing and compassion. While someone may not have emotional intelligence, that does not mean that we should continue to add hate in the world. Rather, instead, disrupt the energy of hate with the energy of love. It can be helpful to start first seeing where we need to love ourselves more and more, or be more compassionate to ourselves. When we make mistakes in life, we don't have to be so hard on ourselves or be shameful of our actions. Instead, we can forgive. This will make it easier to then be able to forgive others who also create pain and harm to others, because we recognize that they're just projecting their own pain and shame. My favorite quote, game recognize game. Shout out JT Bigafiga and Macmall. When we feel hate or anger towards someone, see if we can find ways that we too are like that person we are hating against. Flip it and reverse it. Thank you, Missy Elliott. And see how we can forgive ourselves and again, disrupt and change the way that we're reacting to the situation. Another helpful way to catch yourself when you're perpetuating the same energy as you're met with, but want to have change, is to meditate. Sitting in meditation and focusing on being present or focusing on your breath allows you to train your mind to catch your thoughts and bring you back to the present moment. When we react, we are often coming from a place of our past or a trauma that is embedded in our subconscious. When we train our brain to come back to a neutral present, we can disrupt and change the thought, the response, the action. This can be challenging and it can be exhausting, but it's a practice. And with practice, it can get easier. Steph Curry can shoot the shot from the tunnel with ease now, but it took practice. If we want to see change in the world, we have to be the change we wish to see. Shout out Gandhi. What else do we have to lose? What other options do we have? Do we want to be in the vibration of hate to perpetuate more hate? Or do we want to be in the vibration of compassion, love, healing, and hope to create more compassion, love, healing, and hope? Side note, what vibration do I speak of? Each of these energies or emotions carry a certain vibration with them. When exploring chakras, which are clusters of major organs and energy spaces like the heart space and the fourth chakra, or the second chakra, and the creative, which is the creative chakra and the sexual organs, you can play music of a certain hertz to activate the energy of those areas and cause those areas to vibrate or activate. If you think sound healing is a bunch of crap, then why do we have ultrasound machines? Why do we use sonic sound waves to break up kidney stones so doctors can remove the stones non-surgically? Sound healing is real. So with all of that said, there are physics and science behind the concept of energy and vibration. So focus your energy on what you want to see in the world rather than what you don't. I'm working on it too, but let's help keep each other accountable and hold space for each other as we continue to change and grow together. Cue High School Musical. We're all in this together. Much love all. Peace.